With Kenobi releasing on May 27th, we're weeks away from this show, and the amount of content that could come from this is crazy. And obviously, my channel is going to be a clone channel where we're going to basically only talk about clones. Not really. We'll probably explore all Star Wars. Like, if it's huge news, then obviously we'll explore it. But in this video, I kind of want to talk about what it would be like to have a clone in Kenobi and why that would work and why maybe there would be a clone in the show. And preferably Rex or Cody, because those are the more well-known clones. Obviously, Cody served with Kenobi, so it would make more sense than Rex. But I'm going to kind of go through different scenarios of how it could kind of tie in. And with the amount of respect that I think the prequels didn't give to the clones that the Clone Wars did, I feel as if they would not be a big part of the story with Kenobi. And rightfully so, because you have Darth Vader and Kenobi, some of the biggest characters, so a clone I don't feel like would play a big part into the story. As much as I would like that, you have Darth Vader and Kenobi, so I don't think that they would play a big part in it. But it would be cool to just see an appearance from one of these clones. And I feel as if Cody would be a better fit than Rex, because obviously he served with Kenobi. But I think maybe together they would work. And I'm going to kind of talk about that in a second. So in Rebels, I kind of always wondered why Cody wasn't with Rex, because if he went and broke Wolf and Gregor free from their inhibitor chips, I always thought that it was weird that he wouldn't have done that with Cody, because Cody was one of his best friends in the Clone Wars. So that was just always a thought in my mind with Rebels. And it would be cool in Kenobi to see maybe Cody and Rex working together. And maybe Cody dies. That's why he's not in Rebels. Because maybe he's working with him and then something happens and he dies. While I do think that is unlikely, I don't think we'll get more than one clone. And even saying we'll get a clone in the show is pretty far-fetched. So with Cody and Rex, it would be kind of unlikely, and while I would love to see it, it wouldn't work. So if we didn't get Cody and we only got Rex, I wouldn't be mad, but I would feel as if that's a little strange just because Rex and Kenobi don't have much of a bond. They do work together in the Clone Wars, but they don't have as big of a bond as Cody and Kenobi have. So I feel as if it would be kind of awkward to integrate Rex instead of Cody into the show. So yeah, but with Cody by himself, I think this is the perfect thing to put in the show. And I'm going to kind of explore different scenarios with Cody by himself being in here into the Kenobi show. So the perfect scenario for me, at least, is Cody runs into as a stormtrooper. Cody is a stormtrooper. Maybe he's training other stormtroopers, and he runs into Kenobi, and maybe he risks his life for Kenobi because he realizes what he did on Order 66, and maybe the inhibitor chip has kind of worn off, like we saw with Hauser in the Bad Batch. So maybe it's kind of worn off, and maybe even though Cody is still working for the Empire, he kind of sacrifices himself in some way. I think that would be beautiful, and it wouldn't even have to be a big part of the show. Maybe Kenobi's on that off-world planet, and he bumps into Cody, and Cody just kind of risks his life for Kenobi because he feels bad for Order 66. And obviously, he would do the same in the Clone Wars when he wasn't under the control of the inhibitor chip. So that could be a scenario. I think that's the perfect scenario for the show. But then you could integrate him with maybe he's on his own and maybe he goes with Kenobi to Tatooine or something and protects Luke. I do think that's unlikely though, so because Kenobi may have trust issues with him. But this is all a hypothetical. I really don't think there will be a clone in Kenobi just because even in the prequels, like live action, they don't really get respect. And I do get it because you have two huge characters for the show. And with the trailers, I feel as if they're going to be focusing more on the Inquisitors too. And I don't like that either, but you know, whatever. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. How would you like to see a clone integrated into the show? And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.